What's going on, guys? It's Willin here, part of the staff over here at DFS Army. Usually I'm in the PrizePicks and Underdog channels in our DFS Army Discord, but I'm going to start up doing some videos actually. Here we're going to do NFL. If you're not familiar with PrizePicks, it's kind of like a sports book in that you're taking these player lines, anything. You can also mix different stat types and different sports into an entry. There is a set payout structure, so very important here. You're going to be looking for any type of value that you can get, searching for discrepancies, comparing it to sports books, and that's the process that we're going to use over here. If you already are a DFS Army member, you actually do have access to all of the picks for PrizePicks and Underdog in our DFS Army Discord. I'm in there always. My username is WLin. That's what I'm doing, posting all the picks there as anything pops up. So if you actually are a member already, you have access to that. You can look in the channels. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to any of us staff members. But if you're not, you can definitely sign up on PrizePicks or Underdog, and there is a free offer that we have here. So if you are a new member, you don't play on any of these sites. So for PrizePicks, Underdog, code DFS Army, both the same here, and you're going to be able to get a free month of VIP membership, which is a $70 value for free if you do sign up with our code. There's the full instructions right here on the page. You can access it over here with the free offer tab. So check out that if you're interested in joining. But we're going to get right into the picks for this week of NFL. So for the main process here, again, we're looking at any type of discrepancies, any lines that really just look mispriced by PrizePicks. So something that I do like to look at is DraftKings Sportsbook. Over here, they have all of the game lines. This is something that I'll start off with because you can see, for example, this Steelers and Eagles game. The Steelers are 10.5 underdogs, meaning that they're going to have a passing game script, at least in the second half, probably for the whole game. And when that is the case, you're going to see them likely throw the ball a ton, run, just call less run plays. So that's going to hurt Najee Harris, but help out some of the receivers on this team. But it is a tough matchup. And then you just look at that for the Bears and Cowboys, similar situation, but the game total. So one that we're going to be targeting is the Dolphins and Lions. This game has the highest total on the slate, 51.5, and it is a close spread. Detroit, they just pretty much get into shootouts like every week, it feels like. And that's exactly what we're going to go to first. So how I build my entries, I'm looking for kind of like a core play if you're coming over from the DFS world, where you're building all of your lineups or entries here around that one play, and you're mixing in some other plays that you really do like, and in hopes that if your core play hits, then the rest of the plays, you don't really have to hit them at an extremely high rate, just above 50%, to be able to be profitable. So I have two that I'm really kind of struggling on which one I like the most. So I'm going to go with Jalen Waddle. Receiving targets 6.5, taking the over for him. Just looking at what he has done, what he means to this team. He's kind of usually a shorter route kind of guy, short A dot, but this year he's kind of expanding it. Tua, he's back healthy, so this Miami Dolphins team should be able to put up a lot of points. I mean, it's got the highest total on the slate. And at 6.5 targets, I think this is just insanely low. Like, this could potentially be like 2, even 3 targets too low, because you look at Jalen Waddle, his projected receptions line here, it is at 5.5, and the over is a -135. So there's already a lot of money going towards the over. So I wouldn't say you should put it at like project him for 6, but if you're giving him 5.5 catches, projection wise, 6.5 targets, you're basically saying he's catching almost every single ball thrown his way. And that's just something that's nearly impossible to do for receivers, really anyone, even running back. So this is way too low of a projection. It's a great game environment. This is just, I feel like, one of the best plays on the slate. So that's going to be one of the main ones that I'm going to be playing around for all of my entries. And then for the second one, we I'm gonna move my camera a little bit here because we have to go to another tab. Go into NFL first half because they actually have his teammate in Tua. at 7.5 fantasy score. And his full game, 7.5, take the over for his full game line here, Tua, he's at 16.5. So if you look at how PrizePicks does their projections, usually a first half projection should be half of what the total would be for their full game line. And anytime you look at fantasy score, like for example, Trevor Lawrence 15, then his first half prop should be like 7.5 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So it is 7.5 there. So they adjusted to his full game line, but they just left his first half one alone, which that probably means they're going to bump it later. So make sure you do play these picks as fast as possible. And that's something else that I need to just emphasize. These lines will move, so it's important to get them in as fast as possible, because the more people play it, they're just going to adjust based on the money that's coming in and the volume. So Tua 7.5, it's Waddle's teammate. You can actually stack these together. I don't have a problem with that at all. And again, just if you look at his odds, that's what we're going to be using a whole lot of for Tua here. Passing yards, 274.5, very high, one of the higher ones on the slate. And then passing touchdowns, he's projected for pretty much 150 over 1.5. So, it's a 3-point spread. It's very close. He could definitely be throwing the rest of the game or the whole game, but I just prefer the first half because they are favored, and the projection is just less than half of what the full game is. So that's the reasoning for Tua here. Now on to other teams. So for a fantasy projection, we're going to be going for unders. That's something that I really do like to look in. Don't be afraid to take anything that is an under, because especially for football, there's just so many ways that it could go to your favor, like someone gets hurt or someone gets benched. So Paris Campbell at 9, going to take the under against the Washington Commanders. Paris Campbell, if you look at his last 5 game log, I would say be careful about this, but I think the last 2 games, he's had really good games, but be cautious about this. Don't be game log watching 2 strong games. Probably has his fantasy score kind of high here. Commanders, not like a great defense, but they are going to be starting Sam Ehlinger, who is not going to be Matt Ryan. Now, we don't know if that's actually going to be an upgrade or not. So I just like the under here, because they should be able to lean on their run game again with Jonathan Taylor back, another week of him hopefully getting a full workload. And then Michael Pittman, he is the clear number 1 receiver on this team, so the targets should be going to him. They also do kind of like to use their tight ends. They have a lot of them when they get around the end zone. And Paris Campbell, he is not a end zone target, really not a guy that soaks up a lot of targets anyway. And when you look at the touchdown odds, so I'm going to search up Paris Campbell here. His touchdown odds are at plus 340, meaning that it's a very low chance of him scoring a touchdown. And when the odds of a touchdown are this low, that's where we want to jump on it, because if he's not getting a touchdown, we're just looking at what he's going to do from receptions and the yardage that he's going to get. So 2.5 minus 170 will give him 3 catches, and then receiving yards, 33.5. So that's 3 plus 3.35 essentially. That is a 6.35 projection, and he's at 9. So he's going to have to significantly outperform something, possibly both of those lines, and without a touchdown, it just seems like a very troubling spot for him to get over this point. The next player we have is going to be Antonio Gibson, who is, I think I just saw him right here. Yeah, 9 as well. The same process here, but the Commanders, they have Brian Robinson back and healthy. He's going to continue to get more work. And they have J.D. McKissick, who is going to be kind of their passing game specialist. So Gibson, he's also someone that doesn't have the best touchdown odds, as you can see in the same game. Plus 222, a running back, so they're going to usually have better odds for a touchdown. But still, 220 is not the best, and he's not going to get a whole lot of catches. He's also not going to get a lot of rush attempts. So this one also going to be an under. And then now there are going to be 2 more guys here. So kind of giving you guys 6, but George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth, 10.5 and 10. It's the same thing with them in that if they don't catch a touchdown, they likely won't hit and they're both plus 280 for a touchdown. So again, it's playing the odds. If they don't get a touchdown, they're going to have to do it with a big long catch, or they're going to have to get just a ton of receiving yards that are going to be over their projected line, according to Vegas. So that's going to be Pickens and Freiermuth unders. I would lean towards Pickens under over Freiermuth because Pickens, he played against the Dolphins last game, or was it? I think it was the Dolphins. And they just, let me actually check. I can check right here. Yeah, Dolphins. He was very good against man coverage, and the Dolphins, they play that at like a top 5 rate. This week they're playing against the Eagles, who are 18th in man coverage. So not really a spot that that Pickens should excel at. And Freiermuth is just a shorter route guy, could soak up a lot of catches in full PPR. So maybe I prefer Pickens over Freiermuth there. But yeah, build around Waddle and Tua. Those are going to be my favorite picks. Let me show Waddle there, right there. So yeah, those two are going to be my favorite picks. You can also refer to our PrizePicks tool over here, which you just compare the consensus odds, which are going to be straight from like DraftKings, Pinnacle, any type of sportsbook that you use, their odds, and you look for discrepancies. Like passing yards here, you get 9 yards for Zach Wilson, Mac Jones. So it would be a good idea to take the over on those, just because you're getting a lot of value because the line is set 9 yards lower than a sportsbook. So that's something I can do. This tool, it is included if you have our membership. You just go to NFL tab, props, tools, PrizePicks right here, click on it, and that is where you can find the tool here. So I will be dropping my full picks as well as underdog in our Discord channel. So if you guys are new, if you guys are already a member, please make sure to check that out. Check out our free offer once again. And, you know, maybe I'll start doing some NBA videos as well, but expect an NFL video for the rest of the season, hopefully. Maybe Friday nights, usually Saturday afternoon at the latest. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you do have some success on this first PrizePicks NFL video for the year. And again, thank you guys and good luck on this slate. See ya.